This is going to be purely career guidance video wherein I will be talking to you all about what are the prerequisites or how to apply for masters in abroad countries, especially EU nations. To give a brief intro, I am Hashni Prakash doing masters in Ireland. I did my UG in SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, with chemical engineering background and pursuing the same here. With that said, I think I have prior or recent knowledge on the application, visa, and the COVID process. And I still have friends who are pursuing the same. So I think I can give you some insight or tips on the application process and which might be helpful for you through this video. So let's begin. So the first question that comes to our mind is when to apply. So unlike India, there are two intakes in most of the abroad countries, which is called the fall and the spring intake. The fall intake is basically the course begins in the month of August to September, and the spring intake is when the course begins in the month of Jan to Feb, depending upon the country and the course that you take. So I will be talking mostly with respect to these fall intake. So, to give an idea, for those who are planning to apply for the fall intake of 2022, the applications usually begin in most of the countries from the month of October of the previous year. So, for example, if you are planning to apply for your masters in the fall intake, or your masters in the month of August of 2022, the applications for that begin in the month of October of 2021, that is this year, and it goes till Jan, or in some universities it goes till March of the 2022 year. So this is how the period is set for the applications. It might be extended due to the COVID and the pandemic situations prevailing right now, but this is the general period. So, my ideal suggestion would be to do your or put in your applications in the month of November or December of this year if you're planning to apply for 2022. So November to December is an ideal period because one, first come first serve basis, there would be not much of applications. You would have time to look into other options if there is any rejection, or you might also look into other universities. You will have more time for your visa applications if you are selected for the program. So November to December is an ideal period for you to put in your applications. So now the next question comes is how to apply. So the basic step to apply is to go into the university's portal and check for the application forms. As said, the forms will be available to you in the month of October, or at least from the month of October. Some universities have it open from the month of September as well. So there are two steps. One is the online application, wherein you will be asked to fill in an application form online and submit few necessary documents, which I will be talking to you in the coming segments. And the second step would be to pay your application fee. So the online application form would be either to be done directly on the website, or one wherein you will have to create a student portal for yourself at that university and upload your documents, or upload the copy of your documents and pay the application fee. Most of the universities have this application fee category, and for you to process their for them to process your applications, and these processing fees are not refunded irrespective of your application status. So it might cost somewhere between 7,000 to 12,000 rupees, um, depending upon the university and the country that you apply for. Few universities or few countries do not have this application fees, but most of the countries in general have this application fee to be made. So, as said, this is how you have to apply for your master's. You have to check into the university or the respective program and go in for the application form, wherein you will have to fill in your details, your personal, your residential, and your educational details. And you have to submit the documents that are required for the particular program or the particular university, and also pay your processing fee. So, what are the documents that we need to do or submit? um, of course the documents changes with the course and the university and the country, but there are few certain documents that are necessary irrespective of whichever course that you take or the country or the university that you opt for. So I'm going to be jotting down those documents that you need to keep in mind or that you need to keep in your hand before applying for any universities. So the first and the foremost document and the most obvious document are your mark sheets. So you should have your 10th and 12th, which is your secondary and higher secondary school leaving certificates, along with your UG mark sheets. So UG mark sheets up till 6th semester is ideal, and you should have all these 6 UG mark sheets plus 10th and 12th, around 8 mark sheets in your hand before you start your applications. So make sure you get this done. Few universities or few colleges in our country might delay giving you your 6 semester mark sheets or your transcripts. So make sure you collect those from your universities with a request form stating that you need to apply for masters, and they would provide you. So one tip that I would give here is to add your grade conversion scale along with your submission of your mark sheets. So, if you're going to upload your soft copy of all the 8 mark sheets, please make sure that you upload your grade conversion scale of your UG marks to the same document. So what I'm telling is, in India we have the grading scale and a CGPA scale of 10. So in some countries it is the CGPA is marked of 5, and in some countries it's out of 4. So it's very necessary for the university to know where you stand and how you stand with respect to their grading scale, and they would need them in future. So it's better that you give them the proper copy beforehand, irrespective they ask you or not. So please attach the one page of your grading scale from your official college website, or one which is available on backside of your transcript for them to know where you stand and how you are graded. So the second prerequisite is the IELTS or the TOEFL sheet or the mark sheet. So IELTS or TOEFL is just an English proficiency examination that you need to take in for applying for most of the abroad countries. That I think, even if the universities or the course doesn't require for, I think for visa processing in India, for almost all the countries, you require this IELTS or TOEFL mark sheet. So, what is IELTS and TOEFL mark sheet? Is basically it's an examination that you need to take up for you to prove that you are proficient enough in the English language, and you can take the medium of instruction or medium of teaching in English. So, it is an centralized or a government-based examination. So most countries accept the IELTS examination. I think for US countries, TOEFL is much preferred than IELTS, or IELTS is a generalized examination that you can take up and submit it to your portal. The IELTS is conducted by two institutions in India, which is by IDP and British Council. You can go into the websites of IDP and British Council, book in your slots there, and give in your examinations. There are two kinds of examinations, which is computer based and pen and paper based. For this, you can choose whichever is preferred for you and take in that exam. This is big. I'm doing this video here now because you still have ample amount of time. If you're going to apply for the put in your applications in the month of November or December for next year's intake, This is just February and going to be February, and you still have 10 months of time to prepare yourself in all these. So make sure you take up this exam way prior than you should for you to put in your applications. Another thing that I have to tell you here is this mark sheets is valid for 2 years. So you can use this mark sheet even if not for next year, even the year after that, for applying. You can use the same grade and same marks. So this is valid for 2 years. The next prerequisite are GRE and GMAT examinations. So GRE examinations are for those who are planning to pursue your masters in science and technology or engineering, and GMAT is for those who are pursuing their masters in management sector. So, unlike IELTS or TOEFL, this is not an English proficiency examination. This is more of a technical examination where your verbal and your analytical or mathematical skills will be tested and scored accordingly. Another point you need to remember is it is valid for 5 years. So you take up a GRE examination, you can use the same score sheet or the mark sheet for 5 years, and uh, the GRE examinations are held internationally, so you need to go into the official website and book in your exam slots for you to take up the examinations. So the marks or the score sheet will be updated to you by a soft copy as well as a hard copy, I guess, by 21 days. So you can also, during the examination, you can also give in your student number and the universities that you wish to share your marks with if you're too confident enough to get it shared. If you're not ready to take up another time or another attempt, you can share in your marks directly from the official examination website, or you can upload the soft copy in the during the application process, along with the scores and your student number for them to recheck. So the fourth important requisite would be is your LOR. So LOR is basically letter of recommendation or reference letters which are provided by the higher authority of your college or your workspace. So, if you are a student, then you would require LORs from your professors or your guides or your HOD. And if you're your working professional, then you would require it from your managers or your team leaders. So many universities take up to two LORs. Some universities require three as well. So it is important for you to have at least two LORs in your hand. This is a statement given by your higher authority, stating that you are eligible or you are proficient enough to take up the master's program. Um, it's very important in abroad countries for you to be recommended, and if your LORs are strong enough, then it can make way through a lot of applications during the reviewing process. So make sure you have a very good LOR from good references. So there is again few things that I need to put an insight on, like few universities ask you to scan the LOR and submit it directly into your portal or into your application, but few universities directly mail the reference person and ask for the LORs via mail. So main thing that you need to keep in mind while submitting an LOR is that one, it should be in an official letterhead. If you are taking it from a university, make sure it's in the university's letterhead, and it should have a seal and the sign of the reference. Another point is it should also have the official contact details of the reference person. So it should have an official mail ID and an official phone number of the reference mentioned clearly in your LOR for them to contact in case of need. So the fifth prerequisite would be the SOP, which is statement of purpose. So everything that I have told here previously is basically the marks and your statistical data of you, but SOP is going to talk about you. So make sure you have a very good SOP to get your application accepted. I will talk to you what it is all about and how you need to give a proper SOP. So as I said, it is going to be written by you, and you are going to be putting yourself in front of a stranger, and it should be in a very well professional manner. So, the main thing that I would tell here is make sure you are introducing yourself to a stranger somewhere in another part of the world, and you need to get them impressed at the first take. So it should be like that. The important things or important paras that you need to mention in an SOP is one, first is about you. So it's like an interview question wherein you will be asked to answer. Tell me about yourself is what the first para is going to be all about, where you need to describe about yourself, your education, and how you got influenced into this field or why you need to do this masters. So you need to talk about what is your scope, how you got into this field, and what made you take this master. Okay, the second para should talk about everything that's related to your education or everything that you have put forth in the previous four documents. So you need to tell about your internships, your projects, your insights, or what all you gained through your education is what you need to talk about in the second para. The third para, you should talk about your project, the final thesis, whatever you call it. You need to talk about that. How you proceeded, what is your, you should give a basic abstract at least of your project. The fourth para is why you chose this university, this particular course, and this particular country. So there are various countries, there are various universities, there are various courses, but what made you choose this particular course, this particular country, and this particular university? You need to give a defined, crystal clear answer for these three questions in your fifth para for you to get eligible um, for the application or for the program itself. You can find insights on answering this fifth question through the websites, through the details that is given in their websites, um, provided for the particular university. You can go check in the university's website, check in their courses, check in their modules, and how those modules are going to help you in the future. Please talk about all that for them to know that you are deciding to choose this country with a crystal clear crystal clear mindset, and you do not have any backlogs on that. So these are the top five prerequisites that are needed irrespective of the country that you apply for. These are very important for you to apply your masters. There are few other details that might vary depending upon the country that I will be putting forth hereafter, which is one, CV. Your CV without cover letter. It's just for you to, it's like a portfolio of yourself. So have a good CV. Another thing is few countries or few universities ask for your modules details or the books you referred or the courses that you studied in your UG. So these are for them to know that whether you have prior knowledge on the modules that they are going to offer, and it will make you stand out if you're going to talk about all these. So make sure you tell the modules. There are a lot of modules that you would have studied in your 4 years of education in the undergrad, but do not put forth everything that you have studied. Look into the website or the module page of the college that you're applying for and see the modules that are relevant to yours that you have studied, and talk about those. Tell about what are the subjects and topics and courses that you have studied, depending upon the requirement that is mentioned in their university, for them to have a clear idea on your knowledge into the subject or into the course itself. I think these are the main topics that are to be taken care of for you to apply before that are needed before your application. If you have any queries, please do DM me, and please do let me know. The Instagram handle is culinary platter, and I would be helping you out with all your queries as much as possible. And if you guys really need to know more about the same, and if you want me to continue the rest of the processes, please do let me know in the comments. And see you soon. Bye.